reflected on me that it's not only the person who is sick that gets affected, it's also the entire ecosystem around you. Because Sri Lanka obesity is skyrocketing. A lot of people can talk, but walking the walk is the hard thing. Definitely. Because change in your mindset is everything when it comes to entrepreneurship and life as a whole. Because my transformation first started because of a mindset change. Because I love to travel, right? You'll know when you hear my stories, you'll know that I love to travel. So, what my wife and I did was we collected money to travel the world every year. So, during one of these trips, we got a call from home, back from home, saying that her father was really ill and he was in the ICU. So when this call came, we were just 2 days into our travel. And you know how we make plans. We are so, we make a lot of plans for a long time. And as Sri Lankans, we have to convert our rupees into dollars, which is a big thing. And we had to come back. So on my journey back, it reflected on me that it's not only the person who is sick that gets affected, it's also the entire ecosystem around you, like your family, your finances, your work, everyone around you gets affected. So this was actually where I was as well, because I had a sedentary lifestyle that was not helping my situation. I was 137 kilos at the time. So it really dawned on me to think that this can affect other people. So that flight back really gave me reflection, and that changed my mindset. When you change your mindset, you can put your body into any lifestyle you want to change. So I believe mindset is a key thing to change first in anything, because Sir Richard Branson very rightly says everybody around the world has millions of business ideas. But the person who really makes a difference in the world or starts a business is the person who takes that first step. So it's mindset. A lot of people can talk, but walking the walk is the hard thing. So the ICU moment was a big thing back then, because it really gave me insight onto what I was doing wrong and where I needed to change. But there was something else as well. So on my travels, like when you go to Asian countries, there's a lot of fashion out there. And I would love to call myself, I'm a bigger shopaholic than my wife is. So I would go into any shop and I would have the most amount of bags. But the thing is, when I was big in size, let me rephrase it. When I was unhealthy at the point, something that really mattered to me was this fashion. And, I love to be with the current trends, but I couldn't do any of that because I couldn't find my sizes. One, I couldn't look for the colors I liked. So if I liked something, that was out of size. So I think then I had to make a choice to either accept it or to change the situation. So I chose to change the situation. So that was one place where I thought that changed my perception, mindset, and helped me achieve what I achieved. Well, I think it had a lot to do with it. So early in my life, I had a lot of challenges in life. I lost my father when I was just 7 years old, and I was brought up by a single mother, right? And she was everything to me. So I basically didn't have a lot in life to start with, but I had all to gain, right? So when I changed my lifestyle, the first year I couldn't see a lot of results because now there was a mindset change and there was a small lifestyle change. Because I was a sportsman in school, I played rugby, cricket, I was a colorsman in them, and I did all the sports you could think of. And in this journey, I knew what sports were. But when I got onto a treadmill later, when I started to change, I couldn't even run 30 seconds in because I had changed, my body had changed so much. So this 1 year, I didn't see a lot of results. But then when I was deep researching into why I was not making progress, I learned that my food habits were the problem. So when I really dived into the problem, understood the problem, I was able to change. I was able to lose 55 kilos. So the first year maybe would have helped me lose about 7 kilos, right? But then when I really understood, when I put a finger on the problem and changed that in my lifestyle, I was able to understand what needed to be. So entrepreneurship is also that you need to understand the root cause of whatever problem, right? And when you put a finger on that, when you put a lid to that, you can come through any issue, right? And I believe this journey gave me perspective about life. It gave me a higher purpose of life, and also that never say no, never say die attitude, right? If I could change, 55 kilos is not a small thing. If you averagely take people's weight, it might be 45 kilos or 50 kilos, right? So I had lost a weight of once one person. So it's a humongous thing personally. And that achievement basically it's a personal achievement that I could boast about. It's like a gold medal in Olympic for me. So it gave me a lot of wins in life and gave me a new realization about who Duaine Peiris is. Well, when you start a business, most businesses are solutions to someone's problem, right? So my problem, I saw that it was not an individual problem I had. It was right across the board because Sri Lanka obesity is skyrocketing. Health is declining. Because if you look at the current context, we started Calorie Counter maybe in 2015. That's about 11 years ago. And 11 years ago, also we were trending up in unhealthiness. And obesity is not the problem. It's about the lifestyle you choose. So I realized that this is a big need, right? And when I changed um, the renewal of my mindset and everything I've gained, it was not about the weight I lost. It was about the life I gained. So when I thought of turning that passion into a business, it didn't take me 2 minutes to understand that I should start this because at the beginning it was not the money. It's still not. It's still not is. Because it was the passion that drove to help that one person who needs a solution. If you are passionate about what you do, and if your business provides a solution to a person who does not have a way out, I believe you're in the right business. Wow. So I love traveling, like I said before. And I've done 4 continents, 26 countries, multiple cities. And I wouldn't pinpoint one country. My travel has led me to learn a lot because I believe that every country I've visited has given me a different perspective of life. Some countries, when I go and visit and come back, I'm the most humblest person, right? I would say thank you every time. I would say please, because that culture rubs on you. The diversity rubs on you. And man, I'm a huge foodie, right? When I go places, I look for the most authentic food. Right? I wouldn't be going to a big name brand. I just go to the smallest places to understand the culture and what you can learn from that. And I think a lot of inspiration I've got from many of my businesses have come from my travel. And traveling is like reading a book. It's a different page. It's a different a page you can read every single day, every single travel. Because I've gone to some countries multiple times, but then multiple times have given me different experiences of just life and perspective. It's like if you haven't traveled, it's like keeping a book and never reading it. It's just that the world is a oyster. You just need to go out there and really experience things. And that experience you need to always bring it into some kind of learning. Because whatever you do, this conversation, if you haven't learned anything, this conversation is just a waste of time to you. If this conversation you can get something out of it, that's the biggest take home. So we need to have this ideology of learning something, keeping an open mindset to learn something every time. And that's what I keep when I travel. I want to learn, I want to understand, I want to see how I could make my life better and be a better human being. Because you need to understand now, say, for example, when I was in New York, the perspective of people were different to the people in LA, to San Francisco, or say for Mexico. So it's you take the good, leave the bad, and try to build your life every single day. Well, to answer the first part of that question, there were some hard times when you look back at the past 11 years. There was this one incident where there was an incident where the public had a lot of opinion on Calorie Counter because of some misinformation that was given through some government bodies in Sri Lanka, which was a really hard time for us. Because a lot of people are driven by the wrong information and they get opinionated. And that was a tough period where we were thinking what was going on, right? And when it came to the COVID, when it came to the financial, hard times, something that we always, I, as a leader, as a founder, because this business is so passionate to me, some places I did not look at the P&L, right? Because any business leader, the easiest thing they would do is, okay, look at the P&L, cut your losses and just shut down, right? So right through that, I did not make that decision. We prolonged through the hard times. Because if there was one thing that rugby taught me, playing that game, staying 45 minutes on the field is not easy. It's the hardest thing because you need to put your hard work, sweat, and sometimes you're just gone and you don't have anything more to give. But the only thing that you can hold on to is if you're playing for school, your crest. If you're playing for the country, your country. So what I held on to was my passion and my purpose, right? So when it came to that, I held on. So that was something that I did, even though there were uncertain times. And it all paid off at the end of it because most of the decisions I make are not just business decisions. I would say I'm a spiritual person. And the most of my decisions, I back it by my spiritual journey. Because I have a higher person above me who is my managing director, who is the God above me. And I answer to him. And I know that everything is done with purpose. And there are no wrong decisions because there are no risks that I have taken because I would not say that I'm a risky businessman because I take well-informed, calculated risks. And this information comes from my boardroom and my prayer room. So I think I have great backing. So it's purpose and wisdom put together when decision making is done. And today, when we think about everything that we are achieving, everything that we are planning to achieve, it's all worth it. So why I put it out there, right? When I spoke to you about having a goal and I spoke to you about discipline, right? So putting it out there was part and parcel of showing everyone my goal, right? And this is something that I did for my personal gain, right? Because when I put it out there, I have to be I have to be conscious that I have to keep to it, right? So this is something that I keep my discipline in check because now I have put it out there, right? So I use this a lot in my journey. When I started off, I used to buy good clothing, like workout clothing. And when I look back and think about the money I've spent on these clothing, I feel like no, I have to go to the gym, right? Because now I spent a lot on this, right? So those are the kind of things always kept me focused, kept me on one track, one target. So when you put it out there, now when I put it out on social media, it's more than the dopamine. Like a lot of people put things out on social media for the dopamine factor to get credibility and get the message out there. But for me, it's a two factor thing. I want people to get motivated through this journey, right? If I could give, so throughout this journey, what I do is I tell them what I am doing, how I am doing it. Like, say, for example, how does my day start? Like, I have a lemon water with salt and ginger, and how this helps my metabolism, and about fasting, intermittent fasting, and I just post pictures about the food I eat. So, what I really want people to understand is the fuel you put into yourself has a greater impact than you think, and that directly attributes to your end goals of a healthy journey. So, if there's someone starting to be healthy, I learned this from one of my podcasts, and there was Mr. Piyumar, who is he said there is a D3. It's not the vitamin. It's about having a decision. So your first thing is to have a decision. This decision has to be made saying that I need to make a change. If you don't have a decision, you're not going to change. And then when you make that decision, you need to have a purpose, right? You need to have purpose. So that decision has to turn into discipline, right? So that discipline, right, is the second factor. Now you had made a decision saying that you have to change your lifestyle, so you keep to it. Okay, I'm going to buy a gym membership on the 1st of January. Okay, and I am going to the gym. Buying a membership and going to the gym is two different things. What turns motive is good, but what turns into discipline is showing up, right? And then the third one is really giving everything towards it, right? The demonstration of your activity, right? Everything you do to achieve that, right? So if you have these 3 Ds, right? You show up, you demonstrate what you're doing through the active lifestyle you're making. And say, for example, if you need to weigh yourself every day, do it. Just don't give head to all the information out there. Just make small changes. And if somebody's starting a healthier lifestyle, what I want to say is don't think about the bigger goals on the first day. Take the first step. Think about the small changes because you're not going to a gym and trying to do a 50 kilo bench press on the first day, right? You just need to go to the gym, see what equipment. Sometimes you might even not know how to use that equipment, but think of, taking one step at a time. Just if the first day is all about, staying there for 1 hour and coming, that's totally okay as long as you are there. So that's my small advice for people. And that's why I have put DPA project out there.